a rap artist you would like to work with if you could?
Oh, so many, man. Pusha T, Kanye West, Jay-Z. So many. 50 Cent.
How about another heavy metal artist you'd like to work with that you haven't worked with yet?
Who would I like to work with? I don't know. There's not really any heavy metal artists I'm longing to work with, to be honest with you.
Oh,
I like my band. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But I want to work with Willie and Chris and John and Randy. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I want to make more records with those guys. Like, we have a process. Like, we fight, we argue, but we really, like, we all have a great respect for the music that we've made together
Mm-hmm.
and the legacy of our music. And it's a special thing. And it's like tough, man. Like with this Randy thing going on, it's tough to process because it's a huge deal, and I'm so proud of what we've done musically. I hate to think that something like that would overshadow what we've done, like in terms of like our career and like the body of work that we've put together. And I don't think it will, but I just think if you listen to the Burn the Priest record and you listen all the way up through Resolution, there's like a real evolution of a band there.
Yeah.
And Abe was on the BTP record. But other than Abe and Willie, Willie replacing Abe, it's like the same group of guys, and really the same approach. We've never changed anything about the way we approach writing albums and writing songs. So the development of the band is something I'm really proud of because I still think, I feel like Resolution's our best album, and like a lot of other people do too. And what bands put out there? What bands like their seventh record's their best album? Not many.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm proud of what we've done. So I want to work with those guys, man.
Yeah.
I did meet Don. I did, yeah. I'm so lucky, yeah. I was on tour, and Damage Plan was on tour, and we were kind of were following each other around a little bit. Like, we'd see their flyers, and they were at this gig, 5 days before we were, and that kind of thing. Usually trying to avoid that, because it's a lot of the same fans, and you don't want to have two shows the same week, because people got to choose, you don't have that kind of money. So we were following them around, and we actually had a travel day off, where they, if they were playing on a Wednesday night, we were playing Friday, right? So we got there early to see the Damage Plan show, and they knew who we were, and we knew they were, obviously, but I'd never met. And I wound up in Dime's dressing room, which was essentially like a trailer, like one of these little, like you'll see on construction sites or whatever, like an office trailer. That was his own dressing room. So I wound up in there. There was a bunch of people in there. Introduced myself. He's like, "Oh man, yeah, I know who you are." Blah blah blah. Started talking about music, and he was just coming out with those crank amps that he was doing, and I was like, "Oh, cool, you got a signature model amp? Yeah, you're switching from the Randalls. That's crazy, And I was like, "So what kind of tubes are you putting in those amps? Are they EL34s or 6L6s?" And he goes, "Man, I don't really mess with that stuff, man. I don't know nothing about this." And I was like, "You don't know what kind of tubes are in your signature model amp?" He's like, "No, I don't. I just know it sounds whoop ass." I was like, "All right." And that's the kind of cat he was. I mean, he was just a natural. He didn't get hung up and all. He let other people worry about that technical stuff. He just knew when it sounded like what he wanted to sound like, and it was just funny. I was like, I kind of made fun of him, like not like in a down way. I'm just like, that's amazing. Like you don't even care. He's like, "No, it just sounds good, And we not to glorify getting drunk or anything like that. Don't drink, kids. Don't drink and drive. But we got hammered that night, and it's a really really cool memory. Like it took me we exchanged numbers, and months later he was gone. And this was probably 4 or 5 months before he was taken from us all. And it took me 2 years to erase his number out of my phone. You know what I mean? I just, every once in a while I'd scroll through there and it just said Dime. And I was just like, man, I can't get rid of it. You know what I mean? Like Dime gave me his phone number. He's like, "Yeah, man, hit me up." I was like, "Yeah, that's awesome, And of course I never did. I was working, he was working. I didn't want to get in his way or whatever. And But we had that night, you know, and it was awesome. By the end of the night, it was literally me and him shot for shot, still talking about gear and stuff like that. And it was like, you know, I wobbled back to my bus and was like, man, I just partied with Don. That's awesome. So, yeah, he was a great dude.
Any advice from one guitar player to another?
Yeah, I would say just have fun. You know, someone asked me that at the other appearance the other day, and like I mean it when I say it. Like for those of us that play, we're really, really lucky to have something that we can come home from work, or come home from school, or come home from a bad day, and to be able to plug in your guitar, and you go to that other place. You might as well be on another planet. At least for me, and still I have those moments. I've been playing for almost 30 years, you know, and where you just disappear into what you're playing, and all the things that were on your mind disappear, and we're lucky to have that, you know. A lot of people don't. That's why a lot of people do drugs or get drunk or do, you know, find ways to escape. Well, we've got something so positive and so productive and so creative that does that for us. Like, cherish that, you know, because it's a special thing to have in your life, and have fun with it. And don't put too much pressure on yourself, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to build a career doing this. It's hard to do, you know, and you got to be good, you got to be dedicated. Then you got to surround yourself with people that are good and dedicated. And then you need a whole lot of luck. So that's the factor you can't do anything about. So just be glad that you have it and cherish it, that it's part of your life. And then whatever else comes from it, that's cool. But you always will have that. You can always come home and play your guitar and look at the clock and realize 2.5 hours have passed. And, like, I don't even know what happened. I didn't even know what I was doing, you know. That's a great thing to have. Yeah. You want to do some signings and stuff? Should we do that? Or?
Yeah, we could do that. I had a question for you, because I've seen the collection of amps you had, I think, when you guys were recording. Do you draw inspiration from different amps? You know, do you plug into something and go, you know, find yourself riffing, you know, differently? You know?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, we're here for boogie, and you're a boogie guy, I'm a boogie guy, but I have a bunch of different amps at home, and even different boogie stuff, like the stiletto. I love the stiletto. Yeah. Like, that's actually, right now in my jam room at home, that's like my main jam amp is the stiletto. Yeah, because I do find it really diverse. Yeah. I'll play differently on a stiletto than I will a Mark IV. You know, I've got a Fender Deluxe Reverb that I absolutely love. It's just one of those amps where you do the Run DMC Aerosmith thing, where you just take it and roll everything on 10, and it's gonna sound awesome. You know, different amps. You know, like, here's a secret I learned on tour with Metallica. You know that Metallica clean tone, that like fade to black, one middle part of Master of Puppets and all that stuff? It's a rolling jazz chorus. That's what that is. Which made sense to me. Like, when I saw it, I was like, of course that's what it is, you know? Yeah. But yeah, you plug into one of those and you're going to find yourself playing really melodic, clean stuff. So a lot of times, even guitars, like, you know, I have Tellys and Strats, and I pick that up, I'm going to play something different than I will if I pick up one of these, or if I pick up, like, a Jackson Soloist, you know? And that's why, you know, you have multiple guitars if you can, if you have the opportunity to. Like, all the solos on Wrath and Resolution were done on Soloists, on Jackson Soloists, just because they've got the access, they're faster, you know. So different guitars do different things, and when you pick one up, they're going to bring different things out of you. And the same with amps.
Right on. Right on.
But amps are expensive.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
Have you ever thought of getting into another instrument for other things?
I would love to play piano. I would really love to play piano, because I can sit, like, I've forgotten it now, but there was a while where we were in dressing rooms where they kept having pianos, and I figured out, you weren't even born yet, there's a song with Eric Clapton, like Layla, the end. I had figured that out. I was so stoked on myself, because I don't play piano at all. I was like, I got it, and I'd sit down and I'd play it, and everyone in the band's like, get out of here with that. So, you know, maybe when I'm older and grayer, I'll learn to play piano.
It's easy.
Yeah, you play?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out how to play guitar. So once I get there.
How many guitar players are there here? I'm just curious, you know? Wow, okay.
Nice.
That's awesome.
All right.
That's awesome.
How often do you practice bass at all?
I don't practice bass ever. But what I do is a lot of times when I'm writing, I'll make a demo of the song. So it's real simple. I just use GarageBand and Easy Drummer, but I'll program a drum beat. I'll do left and right guitars. I'll do a solo. I'll actually do vocals, like, because I write a lot of the lyrics for the band.
Yeah.
So, you know, I can scream and know I'm not going to do it for you. But I'll do vocals on it. So I'll bring in a CD with 4 or 5 songs to a rehearsal that are completely done, at least listenable. It's got drums, bass. So usually when I play bass, it's just because I'm filling out a demo. Someone asked about the Born of the Storm stuff. Like, I played bass on that stuff, you know. So it's usually, and that was recorded in the same way. It was recorded just in my jam room above my garage at home. So don't spend a lot of time on bass. I play bass like a guitar player, you know. But I have actually played bass in bands. Like,
You played for Slipknot, didn't you?
I did play for Slipknot, yeah.
How was that?
That was fun.
Knotfest was sick.
Yeah, those were great shows. But it was, Paul had to dip from that tour in '05 to take care of some personal stuff, and they had different people filling in for him. And I got to play Duality. I was stoked on that. Joey picked me for that. He was like, man, how many songs are you going to do? I was like, I'll just do a couple. And he's like, well, if you're just doing 2, you're doing Duality.
Nice.
Cool.
How about that first guitar that you said you bought? Do you still have it?
No.
No? Do you wish you still had it?
No, I don't care.
No?
I don't really care. I had though, right after that, my first electric, I think right after that, I decided I was going to be a bass player because I wanted to be getting a band real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, I come from a small town in Southeast Virginia. It's not like there was a lot of cats, like, to jam with, so nobody wanted to play bass. So I was like, man, I just want to be in a band. So I got a bass, and I started messing around with that. And then I figured out I was better on guitar than I was on bass. So then I got this Honda. I don't even think they make Hondas anymore. Remember Honda?
Yeah.
And it was it looked just like a Gibson Explorer, which is the dumbest guitar for like a beginner to have because it's so big and bulky and you got to carry this thing around. But I thought I looked like Scorpions, man. I wish I still had that. And then I went from that to a Kramer, which back in the 80s, when I was a teenager, that was the jam. You know, it was Eddie Van Halen. Everything was about Kramer. And so that was my first, like, wow, guitar. Like, I had a Kramer Focus. That I still have. And it's in pieces. Like, it's literally in pieces. Like, the neck, I put, like, back then the thing to do was to hot rod your Kramer. You get your Kramer, and then I put an aftermarket neck. I can't remember the name of it. It was Chandler.
Mm-hmm.
I had a Kramer. You'll dig this. I had a Kramer Focus, a Chandler neck, Bartolini active pickup. I was jamming, man. Like, everybody back then, it was actually kind of cool. Like, now you buy the guitar and maybe you'll change a pickup, but back then everybody hot rodded everything, you know. And so yeah, total Frankenstein guitar. So everyone was a little bit different, and you know. So that was my rig back then, and I still have it, but like I said, it's literally in pieces. But I need to put it back together. It's got the Floyd, the original Floyd on it. Yeah, it's cool.
Nice.
Bust that out one day.
Well, cool. What do you say we maybe put you over here?
Do some pictures and
Yeah,
autographs.
let you